So let's move on. So now that we've got our goals in place, we need to think about our marketing message and what we're actually putting out there. So we're just going to kind of go high level on this, and we're going to look at the fundamentals, right? The market, your who is your ideal customer, the what are you going to tell them when you get in front of them, and then the media aspect, how are you going to get that message to them? So something we don't, we all kind of, like I said, we all get busy in our day to day, but sometimes it's helpful to step back and go, all right, who is my ideal customer? And that way you can put your ads, your company, yourself in front of where your ideal customer is going to be. Another way of, in the marketing world, this is, customer avatar. You can kind of create your ideal customer on paper, right? And that way you can kind of just map it out. And that way, again, you have a clear target of where you're going. So, I kind of, this is kind of an example that I wanted to work through with you guys. I mean, you can break it down to demographics. This will be different for some of you guys based on where you are located, in the country. The demographics vary, obviously. I mean, and you guys know, it varies by zip code, neighborhoods. I mean, we know we have clients like, obviously, the demographics of a higher end neighborhood would be a lot bigger job than other areas. So it's just things to think about, as you're putting your marketing plan in place. What are their pains and frustrations? The toilet overflowed, they got mold on the walls, they had a fire in the kitchen, they can't get a restoration company to answer the phone. Hopefully that's not the case for any of us, right? We're in a 24/7 industry, so hopefully somebody picks up the phone, but I do see that happen as well. But they need to get their water leak resolved. They're too busy to deal with insurance. It's a pain and frustration they have. They're worried the situation of the house could get unhealthy for the family, as far as the mold goes. So there's just kind of a couple examples to think about. So what are some of the fears and implications they might think? They don't want to get ripped off or overcharged. They're paying too much for something they could have somebody else do elsewhere. Everybody knows a handyman down the street, but they always try to get involved when they shouldn't. But getting mold, if the home is not dried out properly, that's something that to keep in mind. And for a selling standpoint from you guys, that's something great to mention on the phone. Sometimes people are a little hesitant, like, oh, I don't need, I'll do it myself. Well, what a lot of the guys that are good on the phone, we see them just roll into like, if you don't do it properly, you're going to have mold, they're going to get sick, allergies. You kind of just inform the customer of the implications that can happen if they don't do the job properly. And then just some of the goals and desires of this customer avatar, right? They want to get the leak fixed if it was a leak. They just want to get this behind them. They want to get their home in like new condition quickly, right? Speed or time is of the essence in our industry, right? They don't want to have to go stay in a hotel for a month while you guys get their home back to where it needs to be. They just want peace of mind that everything was handled, they paid the fair price, and they just want to be satisfied. And there's this little saying, if you can see Joe Jones through Joe Jones' eyes, then you can sell what Joe Jones buys. As corny as that sounds, there's truth to it, right? So if you try to think from their perspective, where would you go? What would you do if your house flooded? We have a bias. Since we know the industry, I feel like we kind of have a biased, viewpoint. So sometimes it's kind of nice to, step back and just, if you didn't know anything about restoration, where would you go? What would you do? This just made me think of this as a side note. A lot of people, they don't even know restoration companies exist. I've heard the phone calls. They're calling like, hey, are you a plumber? No, we're not. But, what's your issue, ma'am? Well, my basement's flooded. Like, so they just happen to call the plumber first, just because they don't even know, like, who restoration companies are. So just things to keep in mind. Just to, think from a homeowner's perspective sometimes when you're trying to put, your who together. So the next piece would be the message, right? So now that we know who our customer avatar is, we need to develop the message to put in front of them. So if you guys did happen to grab a, if you have your phone, you take notes on your phone, or if you got a pen and pad, a couple things you could kind of note down as we're talking through this. Why would someone choose to do business with you versus the competition? I mean, it's kind of important. I mean, this is a dog eat dog industry we're in. It's extremely competitive, right? So you have to separate yourself. Why should they call you versus the other restoration companies that are always getting tossed around and trying to get the business, right? And then think about what benefits do you offer that they'll resonate with them. Again, what separates you from the competition? So I just threw a couple things on here that we see and that we test and seem to work pretty well. Same day service, 24/7 service, emergency services. And that's just another way of letting them know. I mean, you're going to, they want somebody fast. They want to be helped as quick as possible, right? Free estimates. A lot of people want, everybody wants everything free these days, right? So free estimates is a good trigger to get them to pick up the phone. Satisfaction guaranteed. Hopefully most companies are offering that because everybody wants to take care of the customers at the end of the day. And then, certified technicians, people just want to know that the staff and the people actually coming into their home are certified, right? And that they can trust them. A lot of people are, most of us are pretty funny about who comes to our houses. So it's always, good to let them know that you have, certified technicians on staff and they'll be there to help you quickly. Here's a couple other things too. 60-minute response time, free estimates. Again, I mentioned that. Technicians on call 24/7. IRCRC certified technicians. Great service guaranteed. So there's just a few things, to get your wheels turning. You can make notes of. Just make sure all your messaging. I would put these. You can kind of play off these too. This is a good starting point for you guys to go from. Hope you got value out of that video. If you're looking for more ideas and strategies for better ways to market your water, mold, or fire damage restoration business online, you can go to restorationmarketinggroup.com, and there we have a free checklist you can download. It's called the Ultimate Online Marketing Guide for Damage Restoration Contractors. And there you'll be able to get the latest strategies that are working now to really increase your lead flow online. You could probably even 5 to 10x the number of leads you're getting per month from internet marketing. So there should be a link below, restorationmarketinggroup.com, and there you can download the checklist for free of charge, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks.